Here I have my art journal. I'm spraying it with a little spritz of water just so that the paint runs a little bit better. I'm using acrylic paint for all of these, and I'm starting out with just a pretty teal color. I'm using golden high flow acrylics. I'm using the high flow. They're a great pigment, but they're a little bit thinner, and spreading this with just a paintbrush. And then while it's still wet, I'm going to spray it with a bit of alcohol. So I've got regular isopropyl alcohol in a squirt bottle. The high flow acrylics by Golden react with the alcohol and make interesting patterns on the paper that you can see here. In that previous layer, you saw me take a brayer, which is essentially like a roller, if you were similar to painting walls, a roller that you would use. It's a roller that just added a bit of white paint. You could also use gesso. Gesso's even better since it has more of a chalky, dry texture, but I just used regular white acrylic paint because that's what I had. Rolled it here and there over and then blow dry it. I do blow dry between each layer. Here I squirted the paper with a dash of water, again to help things flow a little bit, and then I did an indigo in the high flow golden acrylics, and here just rolling that around a little bit, spreading it, and doing a layer of indigo on the top. And then you'll need a sheet of saran wrap for our next step here. While the paint is still wet, I'll add the saran wrap and give it a little smush. The saran wrap squishies make a nice texture and pattern on the paper. And I pick it up a few times, move it. I want to get some of the edges a little bit better. And then with that piece of saran wrap, you've got paint all over it. You can use that again on another journal page, and that's what you see me doing here. Just making a little saran wrap print for another page that I can use at another time. And then we blow dry. I'll be adding some stamp prints now. I just have some floral, simple stamp, and I dipped it in a combination of teal and white. When you're making different layers, you want to think about your contrast. If I were to use a dark color, it would be a lot more subtle because the background is rather dark now. Because I'm using a light teal color, it's really popping off of the page. So I'm just adding a variety of stamps around the page here and there, wherever you like, trying to have a good balance of light and dark. And if an interesting pattern was made from the saran wrap or the paint or the brayer, the alcohol, whatever, I'll make sure not to cover that up if I like what I see. Blow dry time. For my next layer, I was interested in adding a nice pop of contrast, so I got my white Signo pen. Of course, my paper is dry, so this pen is opaque. It's a Signo, and I believe it's made by Sakura. If you go to my website under the art supply section, I do believe that there's an article. The article there talks about this under mixed media supplies. It's really a great pen, and I'm just doodling little scribbles all over in open spaces, just trying to balance out where I want to have this little white pop as a contrast. If I like a certain pattern that I see on the background, then I'm not going to pen over that. At this point, I'm just finishing adding the pen scribbles and doodles. Other options would be maybe writing all over it. I thought about just random words or even writing a song lyrics over it, drawing little pictures. Here I just went ahead and added a little heart, anything. And if you could add the lyrics to a song and write it just so randomly all over it and cover the whole thing, and then after a while all of the words just look like one more pattern or layer. So lots of options there. You could also get stamps and alphabet stamps and spell out a word or something like that. You'll see at the end of the video there's a picture of the final piece that'll come up, and the last picture you'll see the word exhale. I actually took a picture of the artwork, and then with an app on my phone I was able to layer a word over top of it digitally. So just another option. Anyway, I appreciate you watching the video and making art with me today, and I look forward to seeing you again soon. Bye.